really the invitation to speak as part of this panel was to talk about what it is that we think needs to be done to ensure a successful, sustainable, long-term plan for our community, or renewal of that plan. And so I really have a fairly short answer to that. And you've heard clues of it from other panelists. I think as a community we need to have a sense of shared goals. Now, I don't think that's an easy thing. And in fact, I think that the goals that were articulated for Vision 2020 that need to be refreshed, need to be revised, maybe need to be changed. I think the principles that underlie those goals also need to be discussed, rethought, maybe modified. Times have changed since the early 90s. We have learned more. Some people are new to this community or new to this debate and might have different views and opinions based on different experiences. So all of that's got to be checked out, because if we're not sharing with each other through discussion and debate a sense of collaborative effort to arrive at those new goals, then there will be no shared ownership. And if we don't have shared ownership of a plan, whatever it is, then it's I think it's not its chances for success will be limited. And really, this is something we need to be successful with. We need to be the best community that we can be, and we have lots of capacity for making this an even better community. I've noticed that one of the tendencies on our part in Hamilton is to, when we're thinking about creating a great community, a sustainable community, to almost by reflex begin to think first about the physical environment and the built environment. And I think that we do that because that's the thing that we're closest to controlling, maybe the thing that we're most familiar with, maybe the thing that is easiest for us to talk about and share an understanding or experience of. But really our work has to go beyond the physical environment, beyond the built environment. Because really in creating a sustainable community, the best community we can be, we want to create a community that's healthy for us, healthy for everybody who's living in this community. And part of good health is not just physical health, but kind of a social well-being as well. And so that's kind of the perspective that I bring to this discussion that I think hasn't been so strongly represented in the discussions today, but might be in subsequent discussions and debates about a plan for Hamilton's sustainability. So, building shared goals, those need to be broad goals. Shared ownership in the plan is something we've got to work on. Now, not a lot of people, there are still a lot of people who are really not aware of this process and don't feel connected to this process and don't feel engaged. So an important part of the job is never mind the business of articulating shared goals. First of all, we have to find out how to engage people in this process so that they can help us understand what they would set as goals. And because there are so many people who have been left out of this process, I think it's weakened the process in the past. And that's something we need to learn from and figure out ways to do a better job of. I'm not sure, I'm getting tight for time already, and I've got a couple more things to say. One is that, as Linda pointed out, we need the capacity to know, after we define, articulate a plan, are we making progress with it? Because really nobody has a sense of commitment to a plan very long after we lose track of, is it going anywhere? If we don't have a sense that it's going anywhere, if it's succeeding, it's important for people to know, because they can be rewarded by that, gratified by that, and reinvest in the effort. If it's failing, people will be motivated by that if they believe that the goals are important and worthwhile. If it's failing and they know it, they'll be motivated to invest more time and effort into it. And when members of this community are invested in it, then I think that our institutions, not just government, but other community institutions, will then also increase their attention and investment in the effort to achieve the goals that we've set to make this a better community. You know, maybe finally, the thing that I think that needs attention. So it's not just a matter of asking people what are your values and can we come to some agreement about those values and write those into the plan. In fact, I think, and some of it's been suggested through the process today, so I was glad to see that, is that we need to rethink our values. We actually will need to change some of our values, not individually, collectively, as a society. And actually it's tougher than that, because our values aren't unique to the community of Hamilton or the neighborhoods within it. Really, our values are part of a larger community. And so there's a great deal of work to be done to create change in our values about what should we be doing with our resources, how should we be sharing those resources, how much inequity will we tolerate, and how do we go about making those changes, what processes are acceptable and what aren't. And we can't do that in isolation as a community of citizens of Hamilton. We have to look up, look around us, and figure out how are we going to engage members of our community, of our country, of our international community in this process. That's a lot of work. That's a long-term work. That's why it's great that we're talking about a plan that's going to be set for 30, 40, or 50 years down the road, because it's a long haul to get through a process of changing fundamental values, and we have a lot of work to do there. So that's what I have to offer, and thanks for the chance to say that much, and look forward to questions.
I live most days in the world of asset-based community development. It's what we're trying to do as we work in community. And one of the greatest assets we have, whether it's at a neighborhood level or community level, are the people. And I think you'll agree with me that we have many assets in this community, and we've just heard from 4 tremendous assets. And when you think about, can we do it in Hamilton? I simply look at the leadership we have, leadership across this community. I say absolutely, because you've just heard why we can make things happen in Hamilton. Let's thank our panelists one final time before we head to some questions.